The Force Awakens 2015 Detailed Analysis. Mise en scene. Costumes. Star Wars The Force Awakens is a film that utilizes many costumes in order to create the world that the characters are in. For example, when Finn, Rey, BB-8 and Han Solo go to Maz Kanata's castle, they see a variety of different creatures. Some of these creatures are all unique, whilst also having the look of a creature that would come from the Star Wars universe. Then there are the settings that the film uses, which are settings that look gorgeous and shares many resemblances to other settings in the other Star Wars films. Some examples would include a base of Starkiller Base resembling Hoth from The Empire Strikes Back, and the green planet where Maz Kanata's castle is located, resembling Endor from Return of the Jedi. In this film, there are quite a lot of props used in the film, such as spaceship models, such as the Millennium Falcon, weapons such as guns and lightsabers, etc. J.J. Abrams uses props like these in order to make them fit into the world of the film and to be recognizable when audiences watch the film. Figure expression. In The Force Awakens, director J.J. Abrams uses many figure expressions from characters such as happiness, sadness, and anger. Some examples can include when Han offers Rey a job as being a part of his crew where she is flattered, or when, after Rey beats Kylo Ren, she runs over to Finn, who is badly wounded from fighting Kylo, and we see her cry over him. Finally, there are scenes in the film where Kylo Ren is angry as he gets his lightsaber and slices it through whatever is nearest to him. Cinematography and photography. Framing. Firstly, we see follow shots such as when Finn, Rey and BB-8 are running from First Order, where the camera follows them until they reach the Millennium Falcon, where we see a very wide shot of our titular characters running towards, showing an establishing shot of their environment. There are also close-up shots such as when General Hux is giving out his speech. We see a close-up of his face and how passionate he is to bring the resistance down. There are also medium close-ups which help compromise the shot between close-up and medium shots, such as when Rey first uses the Force in order to get a stormtrooper to free her from her restraints. Later on in the film, we see a wide shot of Han Solo as we see him walk on the bridge to speak to Kylo Ren. We see Han in shot with his surroundings in the background. In the same scene, we have a mid-shot of Han walking closer to Kylo, and then both characters talk to each other. Finally, there is the extreme wide shot, such as at the end of the film, where we see Rey walking up hills of the island that Luke Skywalker is on. Angling. The Force Awakens uses many types of angling, such as over-the-shoulder shots for dialogue scenes, like at the start of the film where Poe Dameron receives a part of the map to find Luke Skywalker, in which this scene also utilizes a two-shot of Poe and is informative. There are also straight-on shots, such as when Han Solo is telling Finn and Rey why Luke abandoned everything he worked for, in which we see Finn and Rey looking directly at the camera with the expression of intrigue. There are also overhead shots, such as when the Resistance are about to climb onto their ships ready to battle the First Order, which gives a bird's-eye view to show the amount of people involved in the battle from one end's perspective. Movement. In Star Wars The Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams uses crabbing shots, which is a side-to-side movement at a constant distance from the action taking place, such as a shot of just BB-8 rolling and then looks at the audience breaking the fourth wall. The film also uses movements such as pan, tilt, zoom, focus, track, and boom for singular scenes, such as when General Hux and Kylo Ren are on a Star Destroyer and are trying to figure out how Poe Dameron escaped Starkiller Base. This is also supported by a motivated camera movement, which is the physical movement of the characters. However, there is also unmotivated move, which doesn't provide as physical movement to motivate the camera on. J.J. Abrams does this by starting with a wide, then mid, and then displaying feelings such as fear and awe in order to gravitate towards the characters as the film cuts between them. Lighting, colour and sound. Lighting. The Force Awakens uses low-key lighting in order to give out a dark, tense feel in order to create tension, such as when Kylo Ren speaks to Supreme Leader Snoke about how to extract the information he needs to find Luke Skywalker from his captive, Rey. Later on in the film, there is the use of functional light used in the scene of Han Solo and Kylo Ren, where you see when Han walks closer to Kylo, red light is shown on his face and also Kylo's face as well. As the scene goes on, we go from Kylo having bright lighting symbolizing he may turn to the light side, but when the natural light of the sun fades, which is soft lighting, the lighting on Kylo's face goes pure red, showing that he is still staying on the dark side. There is also atmospheric lighting, such as in the scene where we see Rey scavenging through the remains of a Star Destroyer. This technique is used through positioning, being either behind or to the side of the action to create mood and atmosphere. Color saturation. In the final battle of The Force Awakens, where Finn and Rey each take on Kylo Ren, the intensity of color in the scene is reduced in order to suggest a darker tone. Sound. Star Wars The Force Awakens uses both diegetic and non-diegetic music in order to create the atmosphere and excitement that the film has for audiences. The film uses dialogue for 2 or more characters talking, such as in an exposition scene where the Resistance are planning on how to destroy Starkiller Base.
The scan data from Snap's reconnaissance flight confirms Finn's report.
However, there are also voiceovers used in the film, such as when Rey has a Force vision, you can hear Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi's voices, and if you listen closely, which is used to help advance the narrative and also Rey's character arc. There are also oral motifs, which are repeated sounds used throughout the film, such as the clashing of lightsabers and the gun noises from weapons and ships. This helps to highlight the people, objects, and settings. Finally, there is incidental music, which is the background music that is used to help add atmosphere to the feature, such as when Rey is fighting off First Order troops. She sees Kylo's ship, and you hear his theme played whilst he and the First Order destroy Maz Kanata's castle. Editing. Pacing. The Force Awakens is a very fast-paced film in which the footage of the film is cut together to create meaning for the audience in specific scenes, such as Rey's Force vision, which continuously jumps from one event to another, revealing to Rey about what happened to Luke and his Jedi Temple. This creates tension and excitement for the audience because so much happens in a short space of time that they would want to revisit that scene. Finally, cuts are used instantly in the film to help create tension and excitement, such as the film cutting from Rey and Finn vs Kylo Ren and the assault on Starkiller Base, in which it uses continuity as it seem real and natural.